Good morning, sixth grade. Today I'm going to show you a demonstration that deals with observations, and we talked about making different types of observations in yesterday's class. So you should have open already the M&M observation activity that's in today's assignment. And let's take a look and make sure we have the materials that we need. So we have some M&Ms. We have a small container, so I traded out a small cup for a small container, and I've already have in it some room temperature water, and then I have a ruler. It says on the list that a timer is optional. I am not going to be using a timer. What you could use the timer for is to, if you were to set up a chart, excuse me, and then have 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, and then you would write your observations in the chart. But we're not going to do that today because it's not so important as to what happens at what time. So step number 1 is in the procedure, you are to observe the M&Ms. So you will see that I have 3 different M&Ms. There's 1, 2, 3. And I want you to make some observations right now about those M&Ms. And they can either be subjective observations or they can be objective observations. So subjective means it's based on your thoughts and feelings, and objective means it's based on facts. So I'll zoom in a little bit closer to each M&M. And then I'll also hold up the ruler to the M&Ms. Sometimes that's really useful to get an idea of size, is to use your ruler. So there we go to that one. And you'll notice that I'm using the centimeter side of the ruler because in science class we always measure things in centimeters or meters. We use the metric system. I'm going to hold up one and then I'll turn it on its side. You can also make an observation maybe on the side view and then at the bottom. Now the next step, it says to go through your observations when you're done writing them and change the text to red for those observations that are quantitative, and then change the text to blue for observations that are subjective. So I'm going to pause the video and give you a chance to do that. And then the next question says, do you think that objective or subjective observations are more useful in science class? And you're to type your answer right below that question, right there in your document. And again, I'm going to pause the video and give you a chance to do that. Lastly, you need to make a prediction. What do you think will happen to the M&M when you place it in the warm water with the letter side facing up? So right now, I just want you to make a prediction. In other words, a hypothesis. What do you think is going to happen when I place the M&Ms in the water? So now I'm very carefully going to do that. And I'm going to pause the video while you write down your observations, while you write down your prediction. And now that the M&Ms are in the water, we're going to observe them and see what happens to them. So right away I can see there's something happening with all 3 of them. And just write down what you notice is happening. I can clearly see something happening with the colors. And I can see what those colors are doing in the water as well. Maybe I can get up a little bit closer and you can see what's happening to the surface of that M&M. And then I'll back up a little bit. So when you make observations, a lot of times things don't happen very quickly. They happen slowly. Sometimes, to be honest, it's a little bit boring making and waiting for something to happen and making an observation. So it's moving along slowly, but you can definitely see a change from when we first put them in to what's happening now. And then you're going to continue to make some observations. And you notice I put these M&Ms on a piece of white paper. That's just going to help the color show up a little bit better. And now I notice that there's definitely something happening with the yellow one underneath the base of it. Now there's the close-up of what's happening with that brown one. And then the blue one. And I also noticed something kind of interesting about the colors as well. Not quite what I thought would happen. So sometimes a prediction or an observation is kind of like, I wonder why it's doing that. So I already have a question in my mind right now of, I wonder why what I'm observing is happening. Now I'm going to end this video here because what happens next takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to stop the video and then I'm going to start with another one after they've been sitting there for a few minutes.